All right, let's have a look at this first one. Dulce, Decorum Est, Owen's most famous poem, Year 12, Sunday morning. Got a coffee, ready to go. What does this say about loss? Well, this is the very poem that people refer to when they're talking about Owen and loss. The first thing, of course, we notice is that Owen has used Dulce et Decorum Est, which is, of course, a very famous saying invented by Horace. That's an image of what they believe Horace may have looked like. But it basically is all about the glory of war. And Owen is using this in the title, and he hasn't yet told us what he means by it. So that's an interesting thing in of itself. As the poem gets going, we see an ironic image, bent double like old beggars under sacks, a simile. And this image of young men as old people is both alienating and difficult for the audience. And this is deliberate. The audience are familiar, at least in Owen's time, with the Dulce et Decorum Est. It's been used many, many times over, at least in their lifetime with the Crimean Wars. We now get a completely different take on what Dulce means. We get bent double. We don't get any glory, we don't get any sweetness, and we don't get any beauty. Knock-kneed, coughing like hags, we curse through the sludge. The simile continues. Coughing like hags, old women. This is not a glorified image at all. Men march asleep. Many had lost their boots, but limped on, bloodshot. All went lame, all blind, drunk with fatigue, deaf to the boots of gas shells dropping softly behind. There's a funny use of the word softly here, a gentleness to that, which again highlights an irony, highlights that even the noise and the clamour of war has been dulled into the background by this reaction that these guys have to the eternal struggle of sludging through this mud and horror landscape. It's very alienating. It's very different. The poem then changes very, very quickly. We get very, very active. There's very slow movement to this very, very fast, engaging moment. Gas, gas, quick, boys. There's a gas attack. They change very quickly. Ecstasy of fumbling. We go from these slow, old, bent, crazied, lost men to a very fast and frenzied movement for this gas attack, which is the object of the poem. This is what the poem's about, or the subject really. An ecstasy of fumbling. Again, we get this oxymoron, much like this one here, ecstasy of fumbling, where described as being almost overwhelmingly fast, but they can't do it to get a gas mask onto their faces. Now, if you look at that image, that's very alienating in of itself. This is even a new physical reality that these people have to deal with. So back here, Dulce, as we go, it still was yelling out and stumbling, floundering like a man on fire or lime. Dim through the misty paces and thick green light, as under a green sea, I saw him drowning. So it's one drowning in midair. The image is quite evocative and the image is terrifying. In all my dreams before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning. Owen's post-traumatic stress, if you will, his shell shock, relates directly back to this incident. And this is given its own little moment here. Here we are. Little couplet, two-line verse, where the horror of the gas attack returns to Owen daily. If in sun smothering dreams you too, so now we turn to the second person, you too, could pace behind the wagon that we flung him in and watch the white eyes writhing in his face, his hanging face like a devil sick of sin, if you could hear at every jolt the blood come gargling from the corrupted lungs, obscene as cancer, bitter as the cud, of vile incurable sores on innocent tongues, my friend, you would not tell the truth with such high zest to children ardent for some desperate glory, the old lie, Dulce et Decorum Est pro patria mori. Quite extraordinary. He gets a rhythm and a rhyme there at the end. He really ends with a flourish. But the you that he is speaking about is, some say, is a direct attack on a couple of people who were promoting the war, even after the knowledge of the horror of things like the Somme in 1916. So there's two yous here. The you audience, people of 1916 and 17 in the home front, and of course you, the people calling out to the future, people like us. And so that final image is quite evocative. And then to call Dulce the old lie gives us a complete understanding of Owen's purpose and what he was trying to do. So if you're to use this poem for your essay, and I recommend it, it's one that would work well. Loss, you've got a simple loss, a loss of a guy dying from a gas attack, but you've got loss of sense of country, sense of duty, sense of self, and alienation. And the alienation really rests in this opening section. Yes, thank you.